Hey guys, today we'll be doing a short review of the iPhone 14 Pro Max, how it's holding up in 2025. And I'm gonna tell you guys just straight away, this is one of the best budget iPhones if you want to get the premium modern Apple experience. So what do I mean by that? So basically the iPhone 14 Pro Max has all the features, almost all the features that 16 Pro Max iPhone has, or 17 Pro Max that will come out soon. So you get an always on display, right? Something that the iPhone 14 Pro Max was the first one to introduce. You get a really fast processor, okay? You get a really nice screen. You get iOS 26, okay? You get a main 48 megapixels camera, which is the same one on the 16 Pro Max. It is probably going to be the same one as the 17 Pro Max. You do get an ultra-wide camera, 12 megapixels, and a 3x zoom camera. Okay, sure, it's not 5x as the newer iPhones, but come on, let's be honest, 3 to 5x. Is there a difference? Yes, but if you don't care about photos too much, the sacrifices are not too much, okay? I'm going to explain you. Let's talk about in parts here, right? The screen is really nice, first thing. The brightness is more than enough. The bezels are fine, to be honest. I don't mind it at all. The always on display feature is really nice, right? Because it's just not the... It's not like some Androids have. It's like the whole display is always on. You can see the wallpaper always on, which is similar to what Samsung does as well. So that's nice. The processor is fast. It's not the fastest out there anymore, but you don't feel any sluggishness or any slowdowns or anything at all. And I'm running iOS 26, right? So, and it's very fast. So that's fine. The sound is really good. It's not the best sound out there anymore. And to be honest, it wasn't the best when it was released, but it is let's say it's in the top 10 of smartphones, the quality of the sound, okay? It has MagSafe, okay? It has the charging speed is fast enough, okay? Similar to most iPhones. The battery life though is not the best, okay? I think from when the iPhone 16 came out, the battery is just so much better, okay? The 14 and the 15, the processors were just they're not very good on battery-wise, you know, compared to the older ones. Like the 13 Pro Max had amazing battery life, but the 14 and 15 Pro Max, they're just okay. It will last you a full day if you don't use it with heavy use, but it's fine. The issue that I have with this phone, okay, is not all of that. So the other areas, as I told you, they're very good. And especially for the price you can find this phone like for $500, $550, it's worth it. But the issue I have is with the cameras. Why is that? The hardware itself is nice, especially for the price, okay? And it holds up really well in 2025. The issue though is the processing. So the processing on the cameras, like the colors, the stuff. I don't know what Apple did, but the 14 Pro line was the worst ever that Apple released in terms of camera processing. The colors used to be really natural. They just went all over the place, just way too much. Like clarity on the pictures, way too much sharpness, artificial sharpness, as you can see on some of the pictures that I'm showing you. And it just wasn't good enough. Like the night mode as well, like many times the highlights were overblown. So I didn't like what Apple did. Like it felt like Apple tried to pull a old-time Samsung. So I didn't really like that. But if you use RAW mode, okay, or third-party apps to take pictures, you get really good pictures because then you can control how much sharpness, clarity and whatever you want on the phone. So that's that. So that'll be fine, okay? And the 3x camera is not that good at night, okay? That's something, but neither is the 5x. Let's be honest. The 5x is a little better, but the 3x, the ultra-wide camera, is actually very good. I actually think it's better than the ultra-wide camera of the 16 Pro Max. And you know why? Because the 16 Pro Max has an ultra-wide camera of 48 megapixels. Oh wow, so many megapixels. But actually, the quality is not that good. Why? Because it kept the same size sensor as the ultra-wide camera on the 14 and 15 Pro Max. So the amount of light gathering got much worse. So you got worse, a worse ultra-wide camera. You should have a much larger sensor, so you could actually, get all the benefits from the 48 megapixel sensor, especially at low light, but you don't. So I actually like the ultra-wide camera on the 14 Pro Max. But in general, I think the processing photos, like the artificial sharpness and all of that, I don't like on the 14 Pro Max. So I think you need to use a third-party app or take raw photos. But if cameras aren't your main priority, okay, or if you're going to be editing a lot of your photos after, or if you just don't care too much, it's fine, you know. This phone does everything a 16 Pro Max does, let's be honest. If you don't care too much about the cameras, this is the best premium experience you can get from Apple. Okay, sure, you can buy the 16e, but come on, that's not a premium experience. You don't get no stainless steel, you don't get always on display, you don't get any cameras, just a main camera. So the 14 Pro Max is better, you know, if you want the premium experience. However, if your focus is on cameras, I would just spend a little bit more and get a 15 Pro. The processing just gets so much better, you know. Especially in the Pro Max, then you get a 5x camera, and you pay like what, $100 more, 100 and something dollars. So I think that's the issue right there. But if you don't care about the cameras, get this phone. You can find it maybe for even less than $500. I don't know where you live, but I think $500 to $550 is a good price, okay? Because this does everything you need, and it's still better than an iPhone 16 base model, like in almost all areas. Sure, it doesn't have Apple Intelligence. Whoa, wow, come on. Nobody cares about Apple Intelligence. That's how awful it is. We know that, right? So yes, I think it's worth it to buy in 2025 if you don't care about the cameras. It's a great experience, you know. It doesn't have bad cameras, but it's definitely one of the worst ones from recent years from Apple. But if you know what you're doing with the cameras, you can get really good results. You just need to know what you're doing, you know, do some editing, or maybe use a third-party apps, something like that, you know, like a Lux or Indigo from Adobe. So that's some good options right there. But in general, yes, I recommend this phone if you don't care about the cameras.